Right, welcome back to the Coaching Couch podcast. We are still on the table. The table is still here. The couch is still in the shop. There must have been some fucking very big stains on that couch. We've been told we're going to get it back, but I don't know a time of when. So today we are here at the coaching table with Tyler Cook. And we're going to discuss his journey from getting a blue tick at a young age. If you didn't know, Tyler's got a blue tick. He's got a blue tick. We'll give you his profile so you can bask in the blue tickness later. Yeah. How he went from that to opening his own gym, which was his dream, to quite quickly that gym going down in flames. Not the gym, just the dream. The gym was not an insurance job.
The gym is still there.
The gym is still there, just in case anyone's listening. To rebuilding his online coaching business to over 10K a month. So we'll get into it. How did it all start? How did the blue tick come about? Tell us why you deserve a blue tick. Why are you a person of note to Instagram?
Now, I'm considering lying. Okay, I'm not going to lie. So the blue tick really is the result of Generation I, and I put a few clips up, and I used to like structure my pictures and edit them in the way like to make myself look bigger. Yeah. All my cuts look darker and stuff.
Yeah.
And
we've all done it. We've all done it.
Sharpen right to the max, screenshot it and do it again. And that went into Generation Iron, which is a big publishing company, and they said, he looks that good, he looks photoshopped kind of thing. Yeah. In reference to a few images, which I had the video for anyway.
Technically they were.
Technically, it's like Photoshop. It is Photoshop.
Well, it never went in Photoshop, did it? So technically,
it didn't even. Photoshop. Yeah, that's weird. And I didn't use the app, so technically it's not Photoshopping. I just used Instagram, structure the max out of it, and then screenshot it to do it again.
Yeah. Did your face look like a 40-year-old man?
Well, yeah. I actually need to delete them because they're embarrassing. But they got me where I am. I should say I'm a really well-renowned coach and stuff. But yeah, I was in Generation Iron. It's a big website, and I just replied to that on Facebook. Believe it or not, I just read, these guys think I'm Photoshopped. That's funny. Posted the video, and that was that. The Liverpool Echo get in touch. They're like, do you want mind doing a little piece for us? I thought,
not the Sun.
Not the Sun. No, not at all.
Sun.
Not the
Sun's
Sun.
a rag, apparently.
The Sun, disgusting, yeah. And it's not in the Sun, I told them. But the Echo come to me, and I did a little phone interview, and that was it. Like, somehow I'd just given the rights of my life away, and it was in Men's Health Lab Bible, CNN, Fox News. I don't even know why. And I started thinking about it and thought, really, no offense to anybody general public wise, but I think the general public just love writing a bit of abuse about someone that bodybuilds.
So, mate, Facebook is the pit of people that hate other people.
It's madness.
Especially news articles. Mate. Have you ever noticed it's always a news article where people get really upset about stuff?
It's a masterful manipulation of the algorithm, because my pictures, they must know bodybuilders bring in the hate, because I had 3,000 comments on the Echo one. Just literally like Nans writing, "You big spud, you're gonna die." Like Nans, mate. I swear down. And I had this one fella, I'm not even gonna name him because he's a maniac, but I knew him, and he wrote something like, "You said you're gonna die." And I know him. He's a friend of me dad's. And I messaged him and went, "Hey, so-and-so, you didn't know this was me, mate?" He went, "I didn't even look at the article, mate." It's right, kid. I just write shit on them all the time. And that's when it dawned on me that
nobody cares.
That's when it dawned on me.
It's not personal.
Yeah, it's not personal. So I guess it's a bit of a spin, but hate ain't personal. People just, I hate that. That's funny. He didn't even recognize me. But as soon as I messaged him, sorry, kid. I just thought it was funny to write. She said, didn't know who he was.
Just thought I'd write some really personal abuse that could potentially alter your self-confidence for the rest of your life. But I didn't even know it was you.
He didn't even know it was me, and that's what saved it for me. He was a throwaway comment, and that's what hate is most of the time. But it was everywhere. I was being hated on, I guess, but supported as well. People said, "You look fantastic." And Generation Iron rescinded it and said, we didn't actually say he was Photoshopped. We just said his proportions are Photoshoppable. Yeah. And obviously all the other articles didn't say I was Photoshopped. They just span on it. And the theory was generate interactions by saying like, "Is this guy Photoshopped?" And people going
like natty or not.
Yeah, people giving their 10 pence. Like,
were you natural at the time?
I wasn't natural at the time.
Was you not?
I was like 22, I think, so I wasn't natural at the time.
But before then, you won some natural.
I won natural shows, and even when I was natural, mate.
Did you have a load of people that said you were?
Even when I was natural, mate, I had threads on bodybuilding.com, 60 pages long. People wanting blood tests. People want everything from me. Going, "You're not natural."
Samples of your hair, 24/7 observation.
I did a blood test and they went, "You faked it." What do you want me to do now?
Mate, the fact that you even did it is ridiculous, because if somebody's got, it's confirmation bias, isn't it? Like if somebody's got the idea in their head that they're right, they will look for any little bit of evidence to prove themselves right, instead of just going, "Oh, fair enough. Okay,
Yeah.
that was wrong.
And the amazing thing is, the reason I did that blood test, because I was even a believer. I was like, I must be a genetic phenomenon. My testosterone's going to be off the charts. Like, it has to be.
Yeah.
And I had a blood test. It was 14 eminal. At 18 years old, I must have been, I still think it's an error to this day.
It's quite poor, that.
It's terrible. It's terrible testosterone reading for 18. I was like, it's got to be 50, 60, 70. And then obviously I realized the correlation between testosterone and muscle mass isn't what we think. But I was like devastated. So yeah, I don't know why I did that, but yeah, I had all that those sorts of comments on the internet.
You get that when you start running ads, you know. I think
Oh,
like the two worst groups of people on the internet. It's actually three. The three groups of worst people on the internet. There's actually a website. I can't remember what the website's called, and I purposely try and not remember it because it's a hellhole. But there's a website where you can actually just go on, and the whole purpose of the website is to slag off celebrities anonymously.
Oh, really?
But not even celebrities, like social media people. I can't remember what it's called. Tattle.
You're on Tattle, aren't you?
Tattle. Right. So there's a website called Tattle, yeah, and I'll know when I've made it when I'm on Tattle. And
I want to know.
when I found it the first time, I searched my name and I thought, I wonder if anyone's got to say about nothing. No one cares who I am.
You're not big enough then, Steve.
No one.
You're
I
not big
know,
enough deal.
exactly. Honestly, the day that somebody has fucking shit to write about me on Tattle, I'll be happy because I know I'm in the public eye then. So that's one of my targets for the PR
It's
team.
true.
Get me in Tattle. So there's those people, because the fact that you have to sign up to a website to write shit about people is next level to me. You've got to actually give your email address for
It's
that.
fascinating.
Second, people on news articles. So
yeah.
you'll see like, this girl bought her dream home at 22. The amount of hate that generates for people.
They've done that on purpose.
Oh my God.
They've done that on purpose. Or
How
look,
you
yeah.
can hate someone buying a house home. This girl has a roof over her head. How fucking dare she? She never dealt with the problems that I did growing up.
Yeah. They know exactly what they're looking for. And I think news companies and stuff, like you think,
Oh, they do it.
it's just
They
a
do it on
reporter. She's just a
purpose.
reporter. They're geniuses. They are
Yeah.
psychological masterpieces, these guys. And they know how to get in our head. And they did that with my articles. They do it with
Do you know, I
everyone.
think it's rough that they set like young people up to get that much abuse, knowing that that's going to happen as well.
Yeah.
And they purposely word the article to wind people up.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I can think of so
Because they
many
clickbait
examples.
it to basically just rile people. It's like poking them with a stick.
Yeah.
And then they're like, right, leave all the comments you want. And these people just get abused. And you're thinking the poor girl's just bought a fucking house.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, how is this even newsworthy, first of all? But secondly, like, it's now not even newsworthy and she's getting pure abuse for this for no reason.
If the paper cared, they would just turn off comments. Like, if they genuinely cared, they would turn off
Not even a
comments.
story. How is someone buying a house? A story. That's like almost going. And we know the kind of people that look at these articles on the internet, right? So it's almost like, look at this young girl that's got things that you haven't got.
Yeah, yeah.
Get her.
It triggers you to
Yeah.
go, like you said, mate, it's confirmation bias. People just get riled up. And they did that with me. Like, look at this bodybuilder. And they were like, yeah, but that's steroids or it's this or it's that. And then they do it with like all the flashcards and stuff, or YouTubers. Like, look how this YouTuber's made 30 million last year. And
Hate
they're like,
him.
oh,
Yeah, hate him.
When, in reality, there's people making 10, 15, 20 times more in much more immoral ways, but the paper would never
It's
publicise
like
that.
footballers though as well. Anything that gets
they get
reported
it.
about a footballer, they get it in the absolute
yeah.
neck. Not knowing that they're probably the biggest tax contributors in the UK.
Yeah.
Like they get paid through pay as you earn, you know.
I don't even know anything about
They get
footballers'
paid
wages.
through pay as you earn. As far as
that
I'm
mean?
aware,
You just get-
so
they're getting
there's no
attacked.
way. So like when you make money in a business, right, you can funnel it in different ways to be a bit more tax efficient, can't you? So you can be paid into a business, and then the business, you can distribute the profits elsewhere and have holding companies and stuff like that. And I may be wrong here, but as far as I'm aware, footballers get paid through pay as you earn.
They can't mess with it at all.
There's no
So they're
touching
getting
it.
the 60%
60% straight in the
Yeah.
neck. So when and I know it's still like obscene money.
It is. But then and I've learnt this, and I used to think money was a mad thing, but I've met some people with money, you can burn through 60 grand a week. You'd be surprised how some people, Mike Tyson was worth £400 million and bankrupt.
Do you know how much Marbella cost me for my birthday?
I'd love to know, because
15 grand
that's what I mean.
for 3 days.
And I bet, could you have went madder?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That played it safe.
People wonder how
to be fair,
footballers
one
do
of our
this.
mates actually paid for the last day because we paid so much for the first 2 days that he felt bad.
That's what I mean. Like when we went beast in London, and the bill for that, the bill for that scared everyone.
Right, until Marbella, that was the most expensive bill I've ever paid for. But that was also, like, we went to Marbella, there was like 10 of us. So that was fair enough.
Steve invites me for a steak and goes, yeah, I was going Bond Street, a place called Beast. I was like, oh, sound. Like,
I'd heard it was good, but to be fair, after thinking about the people that I got the advice from, I should have known.
I'd hope a millionaires, because £1,400, I think the bill was for a steak and a bit of crab.
I mean, it was a couple of
good.
kilos of crab, like.
Yeah, but I mean, 1,400 Great British pounds for essentially what was 2 hours of Moderate dining.
I don't know the difference in steak as well, you know.
I'll be honest, mate, I didn't want to say it to you on the day. I couldn't look him in the eye, man. I was sitting there eating it thinking, I hope he doesn't look at me and goes, good this, innit?
Yeah.
It was good, but like, it's not... A $5 steak from Asda, like you can't say it's 1,000% better.
No, I agree.
It can't be.
I don't know the difference between Wagyu beef and normal beef. Like my palate is uncultured.
Well, I know the difference, and it's 250
yeah,
quid for 100
I know the
gram.
difference on my wallet. But yeah, that's so. Yeah, but you think about that, like footballers are doing that day in, day out, day in, day out. Like I'm not surprised. Some of them. Sometimes you would look at it and you think, how do you actually burn through all that money? But
Yeah. Well, this is a slightly on topic, but off. Anthony Joshua, the hate he got, and I look at it and I think, talking about how easy it is for people to hate people. And it's like, people don't understand these celebrities, these footy players, they make all the money, but the psychological damage they're getting from, I mean, imagine playing football and you know, you make a mistake and you got 60,000 fans just absolutely giving it you. It's not an easy environment to
I was
play
on a
in.
flight and Virgil van Dijk was sat in front of us and I spent half the flight figuring out how I could snap his Achilles with a knife. just
Man, you
cause.
fan behaviour,
Just cause. We don't need to now because it's like the league. But when we got off the plane, like so we were in like business class, so there was Van Dijk was sat like 2 rows in front of me and then Luke Shaw was like across the other side. And I only realised because I was trying to figure out where his t-shirt was from and I was like, I really like that t-shirt, I'm going to ask him. And then he had a mask on the whole time and I was like, why don't we anyone ask him why he's got his mask on? Because he might be a bit weird about the COVID thing.
Yeah.
And then I saw, you know, they have like a little bar at the back of business class and he pulled the mask down. I was like, oh, that's why he's got the mask on, because he fucking don't want anyone to know who he is. Because obviously he's just a short, stocky bloke with a cap on. Like Virgil van Dijk, he can't fucking hide it. He's like 6'4" and like dead distinctive hairstyle. But when he got off the plane, like somebody started chanting football chants to him. Bearing in mind, I'm pretty sure there was 3 kids with him. I'm not sure how many kids he has, but there was 3 kids with him, a nanny and his missus. So he's walking off, pushing the pram with this child, and there's like 2 lads like chanting football chants at him. And you're just thinking, mate, he's with his fucking kids. He's just got back off holiday.
Who was that lad that had the abuse in the box? Was he a Man City player?
Foden.
Yeah, was that him?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
I seen that video. That's another example. They were literally trying to have it with him and his girlfriend and everything, weren't they?
And his mum.
And they were literally
Imagine
kicking
screaming
off.
at someone in front of the mum.
That's what I mean, man. Like, people think that kind of level of fame, and I haven't experienced it, not even close.
Yeah, but look at
it's
like
not
investment bankers, like they make that much money, but nobody knows who they are.
The rich people no one knows who they are, mate. They
So
don't want to be known.
They just get away with it. They not get away with it, but like, you know, the media limelight that you have to deal with as a football player and the pressure that they're put under from such a young age is massive.
It's not as easy as people think.
No.
Like Anthony Joshua, people go, yeah, but he's got 50 mil in the bank. Yeah, but I watched that interview and you could, I believed it, and I wasn't even a fan the whole time. And I just looked at him and thought, he's actually broken. Like,
Can you imagine how many people from his ends though, when he was growing up, now asking for money, knowing how much money he has?
Again, another problem. I'm not even wealthy, mate. I'm not even close. But the amount of problems they must have, footballers, everyone's got a 10 grand problem, have they? As soon as you're a millionaire, have you got 10 grand? And if you say no, and they know you're on 150 grand a week, how do you say no? I'd struggle to even think about how you would.
I don't lend anyone money anymore.
Well, you shouldn't, yeah,
Ever.
but it's not easy to do,
I
is
never
it?
lend anyone money. You know what I will do? If I've got mates, I'll invest money with them. So like if they want money for something, generally nobody's daft enough to come to me and say like, oh, can I have some money for a holiday? I'll be like, fuck off. I've got holidays I want to go on. But when somebody comes to me and they're like, oh, I've got this idea that I really want to do, etc. I say like, all right, we've got 2 options here. And I know full well, option 2, they're going to get a no. So we've got 2 options, right? I can lend you the money, but then no matter what happens with it, no matter what you do, that money comes back to me. So if I lend you money, if I lend you 5 grand and we say, right, you need it for 2 months, at the end of that 2 months, that 5 grand's coming back in my bank account, or I'm coming after the 5 grand.
Yeah.
If I invest the 5 grand with you, I'm accepting a certain level of risk. So I want to see a business plan. I want to see a breakdown. I want to see where I'm getting the return on investment for this money. I want to see how I'm going to get, and I want to evaluate the level of risk for myself. And then at that point, I've made an informed decision. Now, as long as the numbers are provided to me are correct, I've made then an informed decision on whether I'm going to lend that money or, well, it's not lend, whether I'm going to invest that money or not. And therefore, if that money then doesn't come back, it's not the same situation because I've invested that money in hopes of a return and it hasn't happened, which sometimes does happen in investments. And I get to choose my own appetite for that. I get to choose my own appetite of how much I want to invest and what my appetite for risk is. So like one of my good mates came to me the other month and he said he runs nights basically, has quite successful nights before. And he wanted to book a couple of artists for this big night he had on. And he said he was a couple of grand short of it. And I said, right, how do you want to do it? knowing full well that if he said, can you just lend us the $2,000? I'd be like, fucking no chance.
Yeah.
Because then you won't be that $2,000 back. So I said, write me a business plan, write me where the money's going to come back, write me all the figures for the event, shit like that. Fine. Anyway, some stuff happened. The door team were a bit useless with it. So the door team let a large amount of people in without tickets. Basically, they didn't man the door properly, so people realised they could sneak in through the smoking area.
Oh, no.
So they were. Basically, and the tickets were like 20 quid. So I think about 100 people got in. So $2,000 of the profit was gone straight away. And then there was a festival. So the nightclub did 2 nights of the same genre back to back, and we were the second night. So obviously a lot of the people that kind of wanted to do that kind of music, wanted to listen to, you don't really do two nights back to back of the same event in the same place, because the second night always suffers. So we didn't realize that happened. So the ticket sales were a bit lower than normal as well. And also for the genre of music that there was a festival on that day. I believe that he didn't know this, or else it would have been in the business plan anyway. And I wasn't aware of it, and I could have done more research. So that obviously affected people will come into the venue already drunk, which meant that we didn't meet the minimum bar spend.
Made a huge loss.
Which it wasn't a huge loss. I think we were like down like 1,500 quid by the end of it. So I only got, part of my investment back.
But you were aware of the...
And that's exactly the point I'm trying to
You
make.
were an investor,
at
you
that
weren't a
point,
friend, right?
I got to choose, and I knew where all the pitfalls were with that problem. And there was issues that I didn't see, and there's issues that he didn't see, but that's fine because it was an investment, and I had a duty of care to the cash I was investing to look at it. If I'd have lent it to him, that's on his back to check all that. And that's why I never lend money to anyone.
I think that's why people think, they want fame, they want riches, but they don't understand the situations you can find yourself in. I know a few guys that have got a bit of money, and they tell me they're owed 20 grand by their brother, 50 grand by the sister, and it's been 6, 7, 8 years. And they're never going to get it back. It's gone. And it's up to you then to be the mature one and maintain the relationship, when in reality, you should probably be getting rid of them out of your life. But how can you do that?
Sometimes you've got to, or you've got to be cleverer about your money. And I think this is one of the things that we have with a lot of coaches that we work with, and coaches that work with us, is a lot of them are very young, and a lot of them make a lot of money at a very, very young age. And I think that's probably one of my jobs as the owner of the business, is to help them manage that correctly and maybe not make certain mistakes. Because to be fair, like when I was 18, I had a good job. Like I was lifeguarding. So when you work for the council lifeguard, it was like £9.50 an hour.
That's the dream, man.
It was fucking, we did fuck all. We did absolutely nothing. I remember one day I was sat and there was 2 Aquafits back to back, and I ate a McDonald's on poolside while these
You were
women
just a legal requirement, wasn't it?
Yeah,
That's all you was.
You know what? We use this. One of our ads guys, Jordan, he had this phrase, he's a Scouser, glorified body for sale. Yeah. That's exactly what I was. That's honestly taking T5, just doing double shifts in the school holidays, because it was just kids after kids after kids after kids. And then at night, like we were doing all sorts. I remember once I got a caution because we made a boat out of floats. And the manager come in, and I'm fucking mo
Just
your boat
messing about
down the swimming pool in this fucking boat. You know the floats that people take bites out of, those big floats.
They take bites out of.
There's always a fucking bite mark. There's always a bite mark. I don't know who the fuck eats them. But yeah, like rowing down, we made it one day. We just opened the fire escape, and while people were just doing line swims, we just made a snowman outside. Like it was honestly, it was the best ever. It was in the middle of, the swimming pool was in Harper Hay in Moston, which there was a TV show there called People Like Us, which basically like was there to document like inner city Manchester and like how shit it was. We called it The Only Way is Harper Hay. But like, if you ever get a chance, go on YouTube and watch that. It's very, very funny, but it gives you an insight into kind of like where I grew up. So that, yeah, we worked at the leisure centre there, which was hilarious. But like, it was £9.50 an hour. And because I was doing that many hours,
which by the way is a lot of money.
It's a lot of money,
then, isn't it?
even now, really, for an
I don't
18,
even know what the
19
wage
year
is
old.
now.
I wouldn't know. But well, bearing in mind the job I had before that, why I got qualified as a lifeguard was I worked for my dad first, doing like playgrounds and paving and curbs, and it's like grounds work basically. And then it got to the end of summer, and I was like, fuck doing this in the winter. So I got a job at McDonald's, and that was like the first job that I ever had. Yeah. And like I lasted like 3 weeks.
Asda was
maybe even 4 weeks.
I love the fact I worked at Asda. It's like my greatest achievement, man.
I did a stint at Tesco, not gonna lie. Did a stint at Tesco, milk aisle.
Snakes, mate. Asda only. I'll only shop at Asda. I mean, the Tesco around there, I'm here to even got that there.
Really?
But I mean, I was on £6.20 an hour then. That's why I'm thinking.
See, I
17
have no
hours.
brand loyalty. And to be fair, the job at McDonald's was horrible. The job at McDonald's was that bad, yeah. They didn't even have a uniform that fit me. So I'd already been to the gym since I was like 15.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like I had a bit of muscle on me. And I remember they gave me this polo shirt that was small. And the polo shirt was a small, right? So I literally
Trying to
peel
proper
myself,
get
you know,
it in
you can see
there.
nipples in the
Yeah.
t-shirt. Like,
But you don't mind because the arms are out.
yeah, but that's what the guy kept trying to tell me, right?
You look good, bro.
The manager was trying to sell it to me. The manager was like, "Bro, you look like Arnie, bro." Like,
mate.
but yeah, then he,
Get this
then he
guy
squeezed, they
investigated.
squeezed my arms. It was a bit like, who's the guy that does that?
A pair of Blackie, yeah. Local
I'm
myth.
not sure how I feel about calling.
I don't
him
like saying. I don't like
Aki.
saying it in Liverpool.
I'm gonna go with
yeah.
Aki, to be honest.
I don't like saying it in Liverpool because some say they hears it.
He's like the boogeyman.
Yeah, he's a bit like, you know, like, yeah, he's like, he might just come out of this curtain now, like we've summoned him. You know what I mean? I'm careful in Liverpool. In Birkenhead, I'm not bothered. Like, he can't afford the tunnel, but over here, he's lethal, mate. So I'm careful. You can say what you want. It is mad how the fitness industry,
the
though.
guy, honestly, he's like, yeah, this t-shirt, yeah, and he's going, bro, it's fine, you like Arnie, and I'm like, bro, this t-shirt's are small, I can't do the buttons up, so my chest is out here as well. Honestly, it was proper like sweet boy McDonald's outfit. I'm surprised I didn't have two
I think you've been
diamantes
set
in my
up there,
ears.
bro.
Yeah, and they made you wear the cap as well. The cap didn't fit. Oh, it was bad.
I did apply at McDonald's and they rejected me.
Well, because you were too clever.
People do say that, but I don't know if that's just what people say.
Nah, you know what they do, right? If you're clever, you go on the drive-through because you've got to be a bit fast and you've got to use the machine and you're very kind of cut and dry. And then if you fuck up the drive-through, then you get put in the back.
You're on the burgers.
Yeah. So you get like, honestly, you get this 3 strikes rule, yeah. Whereas if you till's out, the militant as well, like your till's not, like you're not even allowed to accept change. So someone goes, oh, I'll keep the change, you'll be like, no, my till's going to be out, even if it's
Really?
up. Like you're not allowed to be out on your till. And if your till's out 3 times in a row, like the second time, you're like, bro, if you do this again, yeah, you're flipping burgers.
I love how
That's
you've
it.
got some like proper
You're done.
roadman grime manager at McDonald's. Like, that must be the heaviest McDonald's
Well, to be
going.
fair, nah. It was on Oldham Road. As you come out of Newton Heath, like it was the McDonald's there.
Imagine some fella that looks like Tupac with a sleeve or something.
You know what?
Just works at Mackey's.
Right, before he goes, do you hear about what happened last week? And I'm like, what happened last week? And he's like, right, some guys robbed us and locked us in the freezer.
Yeah, this is
I was
heaviness.
so I'm already thinking I need to get the fuck out.
You need a danger
I'm
money.
ringing me dad going, Dad, have you got any fucking playgrounds that need
Wow.
doing? So then I put in for my lifeguard certification. I
Yeah.
swam all the way through school. I was a decent swimmer. My mum used to force me to go swimming, I think. So I did my lifeguard, and then that was, to this day, I think that was the most stress-free, happy-go-lucky job I've ever had. It was brilliant.
Yeah, I think I said there's something about being an entrepreneur, if that's what we even are, or business owner. Like working for someone else, I couldn't imagine how stress-free it must be.
Yeah.
Even though the income might not be as good or superior, but honestly, I guess the thing I struggle with the most, I don't know about you, but just the achievement side of things, like you just can never be satisfied.
Yeah.
Like even if I'm killing it, I'm like, oh, I've got to keep going. Like what if next month just nobody ever wants coaching again? I guess everyone's the same in any industry, like whether they pave sidewalks or whatever, like, people are always, or car salesmen, we always hustle, but it must be so I mean, I was probably stress-free when I worked for someone else more than anything.
I think the bit I miss, which is the bit that we really try and fix in the agency. So we try to have like a really cool social calendar for people. So one of the things you do is like at the end of each quarter, we have like a 3-day thing, and the first day's for staff. Second day's for like our top earners, for them to like mingle and do stuff. And then the third day's for everybody.
Yeah.
And we try and have like a good social calendar. We've got programmed next year to do like a summer barbecue, like a day event thing, and a Christmas one as well.
Yeah.
So there should be like 6 events throughout the year,
That'd
which
be
I think
cool.
is enough. I think any more than that, and it's
one
too
a
often.
quarter at least is good,
But that's what I miss. Like I miss, and we're dead lucky now because we built a team of people that like
Yeah,
we
you're
all
getting
hang
there,
out
though.
and stuff like that, and we're all friends, and we all spend time with each other outside of the business, regardless. Which is good. But like when I was running my own business, it's very much like on your own. Whereas I've always been that guy that like I love going into work when certain people are on shift.
Yeah.
Like. Yeah,
Even in like Mackey's or that, so
but
you've
know
got
it
the
was a
legends,
buzz.
haven't you? Who
Yeah,
just
you
make
just
it
know
good.
it was a buzz. We had a guy called Paul at the Leisure Centre who was he used to be homeless before he got a job there. It's mint.
Legend.
And there was Danny who used to call the snake because he was a snake. He used to try and chat birds up that were in the pool like at the same time. This was before he had a.
This is why I love the fitness industry, because you've got some like the leading professionals in our game, and if you wind the clock back just enough, they were all either addicted to pills and like loving Ibiza, or like selling coke. They were all like the maddest
Do you
backgrounds.
think? Because I don't think a lot of them are. I think
You think?
I think a lot of them are fucking boring, and I think a lot of them are like.
I guess I'm talking about the
basically-
old Ibiza vibe where like you got people that just look in sick shape, dry as a bone, going to like Ushuaia.
Oh, you mean like the top coaches and that? I
Yeah,
thought
they
you
go
meant
to, like, Wayne
the
Lineker.
business coaches and stuff
Oh
like
no,
that.
I'm talking about like fitness.
Right,
I'm saying like
yeah.
it's just weird. Like they go, but I look all right there in that picture next to Wayne. I might become a coach, and then next thing you know, they're doing 30 grand a month, and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, many industries like that.
I think it's just the way the internet's developed though, isn't it? Like you can literally like we filmed a YouTube video this morning, which you may be able to find on this channel.
Oh, cool.
We did a YouTube video this morning on how I would scaffold like 0 to 5K. And I was thinking about when we did the time frame on it, and I'm like, I genuinely think you can do this in less than 3 months.
5K.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, when you break it down, it's like when I started breaking it down, I think, hang on, there's like, I know it's a stupid statistic to use, but you could say something like there's 70 million people in the United Kingdom. You need 30.
Right, we broke it down,
You break
right?
it down really simple.
You can quite easily sell £1,000 package nowadays. If you've got a good
Yeah.
system, you know what you're doing, you can pick the right audience, you can sell £1,000 package. So we broke it backwards and we're like, right, for you to do 5 grand a month in month 3, so you start the business, and we assumed you had no social media, right? So we've assumed you started from now.
Yeah.
You in month 3, you need to sell 5 £1,000 packages. So month 3, you need 5 sales, which means you need to book about 10 calls, which means, well, 12 calls, because probably 2 people aren't going to show up on average statistically. So 12 calls, that means you need to do 24 hours of messaging. And to be able to do 24 hours of messaging, you probably need about 1,000 followers.
Yeah.
So you need to, and you can quite easily, if you do it right.
When
and
you
have-
systemize it like that, it's very nice to hear.
You can literally, you can gain 300 followers with the right content strategy per month. You could probably do it faster if you've got a bit about you, but on average, you can probably gain about 300 followers a month. So you can gain 300 followers a month. You can put together a VSL video that's going to allow you to show your journey or a client's journey that you've worked with previously to show that you know what you're doing. And that can be something that you send to people and build up that level of trust. It takes, usually 11 or 12 touch points to turn someone from a customer, from like knowing you into a customer. So 90 days worth of content properly. You've got a good offer for the right audience that you have relevance in. So you can say, listen, I'm worthwhile hiring for this job because I can do it. This is the experience or history or reason why I'm worth doing this job. And I think you've got to have that with your audience. But if you have that and you have a sales process and you have something that you can put people into and actually get a result, you can make 5 grand month 3.
I think so too. I think it's mad to think that you just got to ask it of people.
Like that's scary. And then all you literally need to do month 6 is do twice as much as that. If you keep those clients that you get in month 3 for 6 months and you do the same again in month 6, that's 10 grand.
Yeah.
That's a 10 grand a month business.
And obviously you've got the accumulative effect of building up leads and
exactly.
people.
So it actually gets easier.
Yeah. Well, that's where my business is. I'm 10 years now and I've got new lads coming to me and I'm not a mentor, but they're asking me like, oh, how'd you do this? How'd you do that? And I said, do you know what, mate? Like I've got that much repeat business sometimes from people 4 years ago going, oh, you know what, mate? I think I'm going to have a plan now. Like it's mad how many interactions I have with old clients and stuff. I'm just leaving this kind of trail behind me of people that I've worked with and it just gets easier and easier. That's why I've got no excuse now to be breaking through even higher, really, which is where it gets hard, isn't it? Like, I think
there's different problems
that 10K
at that level.
ceiling's hard, I've found, because I'm already like thinking,
it is if you're aiming for 10K. If you're aiming for 50,
weird,
you probably smash through it pretty quickly. It's like doing reps at the
such
gym.
weird psychology though, isn't it, how that works? Like, it does actually work. Like once you set that kind of limitation for yourself, it's
like saying you're going to get 10 reps of a bench press. You always
weird,
get slow at 9.
which is good advice for anyone watching. It's like, don't set them ridiculously high.
You've got to be realistic.
You've got to be realistic. I mean,
I'm going to be a billionaire.
I'd love to know. You tell me, how many people are doing 10 grand a month? Like, is it a common? It's got to be common now, or is it not? Like, what is the statistical likelihood of someone brand new starting out?
At the moment of this chat, over a third of our clients are over 10 grand.
And how many people do you think that get into the industry end up making 10 grand a month?
Fuck all. That's what we're trying to change.
Okay. So it's a harder thing to do than people realise.
I don't think it's harder than people need to realise. I think there's some really, really key issues that people have within themselves that stop them doing it.
Yeah, we were talking about this before. It's a marketing issue as well. And like, you can be the best coach in the world, but
you know what it is? Price point.
People are just too cheap. Point.
People just don't have any confidence in their own price point.
Yeah,
and people have really poor habits and relationships about money themselves. So like they've grown up in households where like money doesn't grow on trees, this and that,
Well, that was my issue originally.
Or they've grown up with parents who say that personal training is a shit job and look down on it. So then when, this is fucking diet plans and training plans, why the fuck are you going to do that? You get two options. I think you get two ends of the spectrum here. You get like people from poorer backgrounds like more working class background, sorry, is probably the right phrase, where they say like, oh, I can't really charge this. People don't have that amount of money. People don't have that to spend.
People
that's
you
a problem.
know don't have that to spend.
Yeah, people, you don't have that to spend. Or you get the top end who have been like told like, oh, you know, you can't charge this, money's bad, you shouldn't be greedy. You know, you get that kind of middle class guilt.
Yeah.
And that causes the same problem. But the real root of the problem is they don't get enough per client to scale.
That's the reality of it.
Because if you have 20 clients and you're charging 250 quid a month, that's $5,000 recurring a month.
Outside of
and
packages.
that will build up and build up and build up. All right. If you have 40 clients, which isn't that hard, most people can fill a 40-hour PT diary pretty easy, right? 40 clients at 250, that's 10 grand. Tell me where the difficulty is.
This is it, mate. I think people struggle the most, like you've said, with the poorer background thing. That you can't have a go at me because I've come from the same situation, so have you, so no one can say that to me. But I felt like that as well. That's why I was charging 35 quid a month, because I was like, hang on, like, I know people that wouldn't like, and even when you talk to your friends, like from them areas, and you're like, hey, I do this now, and they're like, you're charging what? And they almost get a bit offended. They're like, as if you're doing that. And sadly, it's part, you know, you've got to change your circle a little bit as well, which is, you know, if you want to make your life better, you've got to get away from that thought process. But I mean, it is definitely a mindset thing, the poverty, but coming from, you can
be real about it. Sometimes it is fucking poverty.
It is poverty. When you work in Aston, you're getting paid £800 a month for doing 40 hours a week, stacking yogurts, which I've done. And then you go and sell a package for 1,200 quid in one call. And you go, I've just made my entire month of misery in an hour. It's crazy when you do it like that.
We had a client that did that one. So she went from zero. She'd done online coaching before, right? But she'd wound it down over COVID. She'd done other things. She'd come back. She started online coaching. She went from zero to $5,000 month 2.
Wow.
Month 3, we check in with her like halfway through, like how's things are going. Let us look at the numbers. Let's see if there's anything else we need to do. She'd done nothing. I'm like, why have you done nothing?
She got excited by the money.
Nah, you know what? It was because she felt guilty because her partner was earning less than her as a lawyer.
I've had people, when I talk about mortgages, I've had people go to me, you earn what? And they're like, nah. And I'm not showing off. I'm not.
Have I told you the story about the mortgage advisor that told Lewis he was lying?
Have you? No.
Lewis, so one of our good mates.
Because they love doing it, mortgage advisors, don't they?
One of our good mates from back home, she is a mortgage advisor and she was dating a mortgage advisor and she'd gone to Lewis's mum's 60th. And she was on the guy was on about like getting Lewis a mortgage, and Lewis was like, I don't really want to get a mortgage right now because my business is growing pretty fast,
Cash
and then
flow,
I don't want to get a house now that then in 2 years I'm going to look back and think, oh, I wish I'd got a bigger house. I wish I'd have waited. You know, you pay the stamp duty, all of this, and he was like, but he's like, you won't be paying stamp duty though, will you? Because you're first time buyer. And he's like, oh, what do you mean by that? He's like, oh, well, you know, if your house isn't $300,000, you don't pay stamp duty. And he's like, yeah, probably get a house more than $300,000. And he's like, oh yeah, but it's only four times your income. And Lewis is like, yeah, I could probably get a bigger house than that. And he's like, oh, you're only a personal trainer, aren't you?
Yeah.
And Lewis is like, oh, well, first of all,
be careful. Be careful in this game.
New Lewis can't do that because he's had the warfarin and
the ticker.
Yeah. Old Lewis would have filled him in. I remember one of the first nights I met Lewis. He was in a chip shop. We were in a fish and chip shop at the end of the night. And he had a scrap with this kid and he was about to allegedly, he was about to allegedly volley this kid in the head. And one of our other mates that we met that night, who ended up being mates with us all through uni, Rob, stands up from Sheffield as well. Oh, no, lad, you can't do that. You can't volley someone, lad, you'll break your foot, you've got a stamp on him. And then proceeds to fucking put the boot in.
Real friends.
And that's how that started. So that was old Lewis. So I'm surprised Lewis didn't crack him. But then he was like, well, how much do you make? And Lewis was like, at the time, about $7 or $8 a month.
Yeah.
Nah, you don't. Mate. And he's like, you just asked me a question and I give you an answer. What do you mean? Nah, you don't. He's like, no, you don't earn that. You're a personal trainer.
It's mad, isn't it?
And Lewis just said he just fucking walked off from him. I'd have probably just tried to round off.
I've had it with mortgages. And obviously when you prove it, they're like, well, yeah, like, because, you know, you Stripe, but it's that easy to do. I'm online. It's not like I'm hiding my money under the mattress. Yeah. It's like, it's easy to see, but I don't know if it's a show-off point because I guess it's probably worth bringing a bit of reality to the conversation. It's not fucking easy. Like if you know coaches doing $10,000 a month, $8,000 a month, $7,000, doesn't matter what they do on social media, what you think their life is like, they're probably grafting their ass off to some capacity.
There's hard work.
They're working hard. They're not nobody. They're not like just walking in and doing it. Like, you know, I've been in here a long time and admittedly I'm quite slow. Like I don't think I'm even a great example of someone that's done well. I'm just someone that's the accumulative effect of 10 years of being in a space and being quite good at what I do.
Yeah, your difference from when you first started really kind of taking the marketing seriously has been quite big.
Yeah, I mean, it probably has. Yeah, it probably has. Because back then, I was like 5 was the target.
Yeah,
and now
yeah.
if I went below 5, I mean, I think the world would end.
Oh,
I cannot let that happen.
Well, if I went below 5, our business would be bankrupt.
Well, yeah, you've got some different issues, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I mean, it's weird for us. Like with the people we have in the agency now, like I think I said before, like we don't even blink when people get to 10 grand.
Yeah, I think I told you, and you're like, nice. I was like,
Sound.
Snake.
It wasn't that I don't care.
Hater.
It's that
I'm joking.
It's that obviously the capability of where people could be is just so much higher.
I think that's what you keep reminding.
We're trying to fucking force it down people's throats that like you have the ability to do this, like that you have options.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be thinking at that level. But then all we get is all they're bothered about is money. All they talk about is money. All they're asked about is making people money. And we're like, just bore off.
I get
you know
them,
the people who
yeah.
tell you that as well, people from middle class backgrounds. The people that whinge at us for talking about money too much are people whose parents went to like red brick universities,
Yeah.
who are doctors and lawyers and have brought them up with the idea that if you want money, you're a bad person because they've already got money.
Well, how interesting is it if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, Tate says this, and a Lamborghini pulls up, you don't think, oh, he went to university and did a doctorate. You think drug dealer. You think whatever, or you think he's
I
illicit.
say that when I go to like,
See a nice Range Rover, what do you think? Drug dealer. He's done something wrong to get that.
I tell people
You
that
don't
when I get out
yeah.
and they go, oh, what you do, mate? Like sell coke.
Yeah, and they go, yeah, it makes sense.
Nobody
You went online,
questions it
if you went mentor,
ever.
they'd go, whatever, mate, as if.
Yeah, I run a marketing agency
Oh,
or a
whatever.
business consultancy. They're like, oh.
But it's not even all
It's
about...
almost like they're disappointed. Actually, an old lady and her husband followed my car in Tesco's the other week.
Which one? The Lamborghini?
Lamborghini.
Yeah.
To figure out whether I was a footballer or not.
That's what I mean.
He said, oh, I thought it was going to be a footballer.
Gotta be a
I was
footballer.
like, first of all, on first appearance, how you know I'm not a footballer?
I am a footballer.
Well, clearly, because I'm fucking short.
Just one of them League
And,
2 ones
yeah,
that no one
clearly.
knows that's loaded, though.
Do you know how much, like...
I bet big
Mate,
money.
Well, you know what? I get really funny now. You know when like coaches think they've made it big time because they make $8,000 a month, and I'm like, you still earn less than Burnley's reserve goalkeeper.
Damn it.
Scary, innit?
Which is mad when you think about it.
Burnley's reserve goalkeeper. This goalkeeper doesn't even play. He's paid to train
What
football.
tax is he paying, Steve?
Oh, I know.
Because
but
that's
we-
that. Yeah, that's
Yeah, but you know, just
We'll have 'em off
so
with
we
that.
get 2 types of people, right? Well, no, we get 3 types of people. We get the people that we love and the people that we work with and people that we partner with their business and we help them grow. And they're just people that are usually pretty excited about where they've got so far. They're
Yeah.
like, oh my God, I'm fucking coaching people online and I'm making $3,000 a month. This is fucking laughing.
Yeah.
How do I do more of this? I want more of this. Keep me down this path. I'm going. I'll do what you say. Just take me there. And we're really good because then we plug in all the bits of the business that they need and they just scale up. We get people that don't believe it, that have been in the business. We don't even target people who've been in the business like more than 4 years because they're just bitter.
people who've been in the, I can see
People that
why.
have been in it for too long and not succeeded, they almost blame the industry. They hate everyone.
Yeah, I've had a few of them, and even clients. Any of my clients watching this, don't hate me. I still love all you. Do you know what I mean? Everyone still gets a great service. No one's being compromised. It's not like it matters to the individual.
I know. But you get that. People are like, oh yeah, I don't want to grow my business because then it'll be bad for my current clients. I'm like,
You know.
how is having more money to spend on your business going to be bad for your clients?
I don't like to work with 10 individuals at a time, but in reality, they're like, please. They're looking at their application form every day, hoping
I
more
need
than
more people.
Yeah, but they would never admit that I only like to work with a select few. And it's like, nah, man, you know, I spoke to, this was Chris Brown's big thing. It was like, affect as many lives as possible. Like after a certain level, money's not even a big deal, man. You go into like legacy and vision and money just becomes a tool. Like you said, most money, I don't even try and take any money really these days. It's like bills and then
I
save
get
for
giddy when
certain
we
things.
reach new milestones now because I think about who we can get. I'm like, right, we can go buy this person now. We can go buy this
You've
person.
been hiring everyone off Instagram, haven't you?
Honestly, anyone who's top end of the industry, I'm in a position now where
Yeah.
we make a lot of money.
Yeah.
I'm at a point now where I'm literally buying people out of their businesses to just work solely with us.
Yeah.
Like genuinely, like we probably over the past 3 months have taken two of the top content creator and the top automations person. They're working solely for us now. I'm paying their full salary,
Which is exciting.
Because that's what I get giddy about. I'm like, we're gonna build we're gonna be like the Avengers.
Yeah.
Of building businesses, of business consultancy.
You getting there?
We are. And I know full well that nobody else is going to match that because there's 2 sets of people that we've got as competition. There's people who've been doing it longer and make more money, but they're not willing. They're not willing to go in those deep waters and sign those paychecks and risk what they've got comfy now. They're not going to do that. So we're going to drag them into those waters and drown them there because they're not going to foot that wage bill. They've got too used to the profit that they're making, and they're just going to put little placeholder people in place and like little shitty versions of themselves to try and do the same job. We're not. I'm going getting people who are far better than me, and we'll pay the money because that's what I'm good at. I'm good at teaching.
Organising.
I'm good at making the educational videos and making the resources because that's what I did as a job. I was a physics teacher for years. So that's what I do, and I'm good at building a team. And that's where the money's going. Like the money's being reinvested so heavily. So those people can't keep up because they're not willing to foot the wage bill. Yeah. And the other people that are trying to copy what we're doing, they can't get the kind of people that we get.
I think that whole high risk attitude, mate, comes down to any new coach, doesn't it? Listening, like you've got to being your own boss. You've got to be brave, man.
You've got to be a gunslinger. I know a lot of
lads who aren't brave.
Yeah.
And they'll be watching this hating me. I know them well. And they're friends of mine. And
no
they're
reward
not brave.
for pussy holes in business, though. No reward.
And they'll be hating it, and they hate it. And they're the bitter ones because deep down they wish they were brave enough to go. Because I mean, mate, I don't know about you, but I got no inheritance. I got no real I got no safety net. I got nothing. No one's gonna look after me. I got nothing coming. No one's coming to save me. And I think that is my biggest edge. Yeah. And people need to start learning that. Get out there and be brave. And because I think I spoke up to someone about this today, they have a big safety net, and that's why they can't leave their job.
They never take it seriously enough, do they?
Why do I need to leave my job? You know, my parents die, I'll have this, they didn't say that, but that's kind of what they're getting at. They're like, I'm set up. It's
not worth the risk. I think you've got to have, to be really successful, well, there's other ways, but like one of the things that's made me successful in business, I feel, is that first of all, I was happy when I was broke. I weren't unhappy. I couldn't do some of the things that I wanted to do, and really one of the main drivers of growing my business is to give my parents basically a safety net because my dad retired from cancer very early. Well, not very early, but earlier than he wanted to, and basically the house is going to not get paid for. So that was one of the reasons why I did. Now that's there, but I've lived in a bedsit in Salford and I was fine. I had a 10-year-old BMW. I was fine. I weren't unhappy. Like I weren't sat every day going, oh, I can't live this broke life forever.
Yeah,
I was actually all right. I had a good group of mates. Like. I as long as I enjoy my job that I had day to day, I was fine. But then the second thing, so I could go back to that. But the second thing, like I'm one of those people that like when I was in school, like I did an extra GCSE in French after school because they told me I couldn't handle to do 2 languages. They said, you can't do 2 languages, you can only do 1.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I want to do 2. And they're like, you can't do 2. We don't let people do 2 because nobody ever passes 2. So I taught myself French.
That was the way to do it.
I taught myself French and then sat a French GCSE and I made him pay for it. I was like, if I do this, I'm not paying for it. Like, because I was a kid. I was like, oh, the fucking money to pay for GCSE. I was like, will you put me in for the exam if I study? And they said, right, if you do the mock papers and you pass the mock papers, we'll put you through into it with the French lot. And I got a C.
That's good.
Which is all right. I got better in Latin, which is the one that I did actually.
It's a weird one to even have a skill on.
You know what they did? They promised us a trip to Pompeii.
They snaked it on it.
Mate, we didn't even get to go to a museum. We did fuck all. The teacher that taught Latin was retiring the year after, and there were 6 of us. Obviously,
she was the last Latin speaking woman in the world,
right? So it was a bloke actually, but like, obviously we were a school in Moston, so the number of children that actually
want to learn Latin,
well, even were allowed to learn Latin because you had to get so many grades to be able to do the Latin class. There was like 6 of us, so we just fucked about. And then it was really easy, to be fair. It was just translating. You didn't have to speak it. And you were allowed to take the dictionary. So if you were quick at using a dictionary, you could literally translate it by hand without knowing any of the words.
It's that challenge, innit? And I think that's what excites business owners is like the challenge of doing something you're not meant to do. I mean, for me, I've always just thought in business, my most excitable quality is I want to fail. Like I want people to know that you can kill me or at least try and I'll just come back even happier and even more attempting to try and succeed. Like I'm not scared of failure. Some people are terrified. Whereas for me, I've failed more times than most people have tried at this point. But like it's like Gary Vaynerchuk used to say, like he almost wants to, I always had this weird, this is mad for me. I used to have this weird vision like with bodybuilding that, not that I'd have an accident because I'm not wishing anything on myself. But
I've been there. It's not, I wouldn't recommend it.
You've been there, to be fair. Well, this is why I like your story. But I almost had this weird, like on the treadmill especially, like this vision, like I'd lose all my muscle. But that excited the life out of me because like, I'm going to lose all my muscle and I'm going to go straight on Instagram, I'm going to watch what I can do now and I'm going to come back even better. And that was always exciting to me. So I think that's probably part of the edge for
you've got to be
I'm excited by the fall. I want to fall. I want to fail because I'm going to come back and people are going to go, how's this guy not dead? How's he not finished?
Yeah, you've got to gamble on it. I think like for me, I've taken loads of risks for business and like we've got to certain points and I've gambled. I had a 7-figure fitness business. I could have just sat on that and just, I didn't, I wanted to gamble and move on and do the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And eventually I'll have to pay the piper at some point. Like we've had losses. I've lost money.
Yeah.
I've spent money on things that didn't work out. I lost a fuckload of money on ads when iOS 14 came out. Like we did a full ad campaign, we built it all right up to it, spent about 12, 15 grand on it, got it all, boom, straight in the gutter. Literally soon as we launched, 2 days later, iOS 14 app, boom.
It's like when we talked about people going on about like safety, like clawing to the money, going, I'm on like, they're on like $3 grand a month and the budget and everything and the penny pinch and like, I've got to put this there, I've got to put that there, I've got my mortgage.
No one
and
ever
I'm
got
super
rich
safe.
not going to Starbucks.
Yeah, exactly.
You never got rich like not going
People
to Starbucks.
think that's the
and drinking
secret. They're like,
coffee.
I will pay my mortgage. I've got my house for life now. I'm going to put me.
Yeah, but I don't have that. I don't have
We
a
don't care
mortgage.
about that,
I don't
do
have
we?
nothing.
Yeah.
And I purposely
We
don't.
agree on that stuff.
I purposely don't because I have to keep going.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think I'll ever truly be happy until I find my level, and I've not found it yet.
Yeah.
Like, so I will keep taking risks, and I will keep pushing. I'll keep pushing. Like we're at over 50% investment back into the business.
Yeah.
So we invest over half of what we make back in every single month.
Which I guess a lot of people don't see in businesses.
No,
And I try to do a
but
similar thing.
To be fair though, because we make so much money, I am still able to afford nice things and still do that reinvestment. So that's okay. But I will not stop until I've reached that point where I don't care about anyone else. No one else is even relevant to this. It's not about being the best. I think we are already, to be honest with you. And I think
You are when you don't follow anyone else.
Yeah, true.
That's my strategy, by the
You
way.
can't come second if you're
you
on
don't
the
know
one in the
they
race.
exist.
If you're on the one in the race, you can't lose.
Yeah.
But no, genuinely, like I think if we're not the best, we're on the way to being, and we will overtake it, and we will be the market leaders. However, I could not give a fuck about being the market leader. That is still not enough. That's like saying I only have to beat the next shittest person. Like I won't stop until I reach that level. And the only way to find that level is for me to fucking find it. I've got to hit that wall because you can't get there slowly. So you've got to take bigger and bigger and bigger risks, and eventually you'll take that step, and like the fucking floor won't be there when you'll be like, oh fuck.
That's how you do things, though, mate. People, and this again, I guess what we're doing here is talking about the mindset of an entrepreneur or a business owner, because you've got to think weird.
Yeah.
You don't think like a normal person.
Well, I've just realised that literally the only way that I'm going to ever be happy and find where I need to be is by losing everything.
Oh, mate, I can't wait to lose everything. People say that to me. I can't wait. Like, just do it, because I'll come back and I'll just figure it out another way.
Yeah, that's the other thing that I say to people, like, because by doing that, by reaching that level, you've built such an extraordinary skill set, and you've got a portfolio that's so long, and you've got that many skills, and you've got that many connections. It's like when you see millionaires like lose the businesses and get blacklisted, and then like next year it's like they've got a fucking Ferrari
Just
again.
ring
I'm like,
the
how
maker.
the fuck? How is like Kerry Katona? Kerry Katona's been bankrupt like 5 times.
Mate.
She's still got 2 Lamborghinis.
Kerry's a
if
G.
Kerry Katona can do it, why can't you?
I don't have an OnlyFans yet.
It's not about
But it's an option.
No, because people take that as you know what, people use that as an excuse. Yeah,
It's true.
People use
You're
Kerry
right.
Katona having OnlyFans as an excuse for why she's not better than them.
She's a monster
They
entrepreneur.
cannot accept the fact that Kerry Katona is more resilient and better at making money than they are, because
Believe
they
it.
look at her and they think, oh, it's only Kerry Katona.
Yeah.
Kerry Katona has been bankrupt more times than you, and she still has 2 Lamborghinis. How many Lamborghinis have you had?
Yeah.
And that's why they go, oh, it's OnlyFans. They say that because it takes the pressure off them. It's like, no, she's done something immoral. So normal people wouldn't do that. So that's why she's so successful. If you took OnlyFans off Kerry Katona tomorrow, guarantee she'd be a millionaire
She's a
again next
marketing
week.
monster, mate.
She'd fucking do it again.
She'd be on
do
Reels.
it again. And this is what people do, is they deflect their own self issues onto other people, which is ridiculous.
Spot on, mate. And this is the thing. People think for some reason there's easy money out there. Easy money does not exist.
Nah.
Not at all.
It's hard work and gambling.
I respect anyone that's got anything. And if you don't have that mindset, it's probably because you're bitter. Because I respect money. There's no such thing as a free lunch. Like, you can't really say anyone's
and
having
you know
easy.
what? You don't accidentally make that much money that consistently. So you might make $1 million. You might make a couple of $100,000, like by being a dickhead and by fluking it.
Yeah.
You don't fluke consistent success
Kerry
over 10
Katona
years.
is a business monster.
Kerry Katona has made more money off the whole fucking. If you added up all the money, even Katie Price is
up there, though.
Katie Price is an airhead. Katie Price doesn't know what she's doing. She's a fucking idiot. How much money has Katie Price made?
Look at Kim Kardashian. I said this to someone the other day. Her dad was literally the pinnacle of defense lawyers in America. Like, he was a superstar.
And she's managed to twist
And
that
she's
into being
destroyed his
the
legacy.
biggest superstar on the planet.
Yeah. Most people's dads, they look at the dad who was a superstar millionaire lawyer who represents superstars, and you go, I'd never be able to, I'm in his shadow. She's just,
No one even knows that
he
anymore.
had to turn into a woman to get any sort of like.
Didn't he win an Olympic gold medal as well?
Bruce is a beast.
How bad is it that you're a millionaire defense
bailed it
lawyer
all.
and you won a gold medal and you're still an insignificant, small, tiny part of your daughter's empire?
Are they two different people? Because I swear he's won a gold medal as well. I think there's Robert Kardashian and then there's Bruce Jenner.
Sorry, Bruce Jenner.
But both of them have still like
Nothing. I don't even know the separate
I don't
people.
even know. I didn't
this
know.
is what I mean.
That's the problem. Kim's just eclipsed them both.
And
Sorry,
you
guys.
can't make 10 grand a month.
Sorry,
in coaching.
fellas. You can't even make 5. Because 5 would be a nice start.
Definitely a belief system. Right. We're going to wrap it up because I think we've managed to do that without being overly controversial.
It feels like 5 minutes went by, mate. We talk fast.
It does feel like 5 minutes. Mate, it's scousers.
Yeah, we just go, mate.
Over and over and over again. Sounds like static with words in it.
Yeah. Get the captions on.
Other than that, right, so we'd probably give out a load of fucking unsolicited advice that no one wanted.
I hope we helped.
I hope we helped. Biggest nugget for somebody that maybe is at that category, so they're doing 2 to 3K or maybe even 3 to 5K and they're looking to break through that next barrier, what would be your advice?
It would be the same advice for any price category, resilience. And I actually think the biggest thing is just belief. Belief in that what you're doing is going to work. For me, I find that people that come to me is from something I've done 6 months ago. Yeah. So do the things today, the content, the higher and the mental. The mental might not work right away. Do the things that you need to do and know that you're planting seeds that you're gonna be sowing 6-8 months down the line. And that's it, basics. I know it's the worst answer, but do the simple things consistently and it will materialize.
Funny enough, we've heard that before. That's not the first time someone said that because it's the right advice.
Just be in everyone's face. That's what I found. Like, it sounds mad, but people might consider getting coaching off you right now. And then you just disappear for 2 days because you decide not to do any stories. Just be in their face.
You're going to hate me or you're going to pay me.
Yeah.
They're the two options that you've got.
Unfollow me.
Yeah.
Like, get okay with people unfollowing you, man.
Tell me to fuck off. I don't care. There's two. You don't sit on the fence. You're either going to sign up or you're going to tell us why you're not.
You either like me or you don't. It's like, if you unfollow me, I know like 4 people in real life anyway.
I don't even know. Yeah, I don't even know who unfollows me.
People are so particular about stuff like that, you know. But yeah, just be resilient and keep going. And it sounds really bad advice, that. But I used to watch that stuff and go,
I know, but it's true. That's why so many people say it. And where can people find you?
Instagram, Tyler Cookzilla. YouTube is a new thing for me, so Tyler Cookzilla, I'm on there as well. I am still the shittest content creator on the planet, but we're working on it.
By the time this comes out, maybe you've done a solid week.
I might have, because I've got a weekly vlog coming out, and
there
maybe
you go.
by then
There's a weekly vlog coming out.
We've got something cool going on, but I appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, man.